Okay, thank you very much for the introduction, and I'm very happy to be able to be here. I think it's important this year in GITEX. This is actually the first year of holding a financial vertical summit as part of GITEX, and I think that from a technology standpoint, from a societal standpoint, that the transformation that's going on around, particularly around mobile, is particularly important. So I'm sorry I missed the presentation yesterday about super apps. I will talk a little bit about that. But I think the thing that's key is that mobile is really transforming everything, and not just around finance, but actually all areas of life. And that's driving the consumers to make changes in how they view and what they expect, quite frankly. So I think that for all areas of their life, I mean, I don't know how many of you got here via Kareem or Uber, but probably quite a few, or at least partway, right? I've found that this week it makes sense to take transportation on roads somewhat close, and then be able to transition to the metro system, which obviously is quite reliable. So we could probably start the clock here. So that all of these kinds of applications, and whether it's Noon or Uber or Kareem or any of these others, are really driving changes in the way that the users think about things. And it's an opportunity for the banks and financial institutions to be able to move beyond the traditional kinds of banking applications and be able to move towards supporting lifestyle services, being able to support the full range of activities. We have some customers that are pretty good examples of what can happen. So China Merchants Bank is the leading consumer bank in China, and they moved from traditional kinds of measurements of a bank to monthly active users, which is a measure of stickiness, if you will. How many users come to their mobile application and routinely use it every month? It's a measurement that a Facebook or a Google would use. But by changing the focus of the bank to totally around that, they created an ecosystem of capabilities, and then they drove up the monthly active users, which then drove up their number of customers, drove up the engagement of new products like wealth management. So it really has a very good effect. One of our other customers has taken a slightly different view, and they've opened up APIs. So DBS in Singapore has now, I think, well over 500 APIs that they have exposed to partners. And they've got more than 4,000 partners that utilize these APIs to provide services where the services that DBS offers are embedded transparently inside of the offerings from that other enterprise, whether it's Grub on food deliveries or whatever. So these are examples of people moving forward to incorporate the mobile as part of the lifestyle. And what it means is that we're moving beyond mobile applications that are focused around my customers of the bank and moving towards a platform where you can plug in new kinds of capabilities, which is essentially necessary. So, because banks can't develop all of these things, right? What they have to do is they have to be able to integrate them seamlessly so that the user experience is maintained. And so this is a key to one of the things that we've talked a lot about here this week is around financial inclusion. How do you take, particularly in developing markets, customers that don't have enough resources to have a bank account, how do you get them involved in the financial system? And the mobile kinds of wallets, mobile engagement is a good way to do that, because then they can start becoming used to using the electronic means to transfer money to other people, to pay their merchants, to pay their bills, as well as being able to start doing things like savings. So you can help those people go up the, if you will, like Maslow's pyramid of needs, and starting just being able to do payments, but then get into creating a credit environment, so they can have small loans, they can do savings and that sort of thing. So in order to be able to take advantage of this, banks really have to focus around digitalization. And this is not, take my core banking and transform it into something. It's about the end-to-end processes and being able to have a digitalization as the core of that set of capabilities. So you stop thinking about customers, you start thinking about users. You stop thinking about financial transactions, and you think more about engagement, particularly through the mobile applications. So this is a change that will ripple throughout the organization, but it's necessary to be able to compete going forward into the future. And from what we've seen, it can help a bank create a competitive edge. So you can become the platform that starts to tie all these other services together and deliver them to the end user. So now you have new opportunities to monetize. You can also move into new kinds of applications, things like supply chain financing and that sort of thing, that are going to become more important as we move to technologies like 5G, more about the cloud technologies and IoT. IoT is, along with 5G, are key drivers for new kinds of financial application that can automate things like trade financing and partial implementation of services as they're delivered. So this, what we need then is this customer-centric super app. So the ability to plug all of these things in without writing whole lots of developing lots of code and then having to work with a lot of different APIs. You need a standard framework that can plug everything together to be able to create this. And so one of the examples that we have is this. This is actually a picture of various the services that are provided by China Merchants Bank with their mobile app. They actually went from mobile first, where the engagement of all new services by the users was through a mobile application, to mobile only throughout their bank. So the employees of the bank communicate with each other through the mobile application. They communicate to their customers. They have chat function. They have video conferencing with the support agents. They have robotic agents as well. So all of these capabilities have then moved to a complete ecosystem that's driven by the mobile application. And this was a journey, right? I mean, they started out trying to transform the bank, focused around the monthly active users concept. They did, over time, transition their core systems to a cloud environment. So when I say cloud, I mean from a technology standpoint, not public cloud. They are running everything within their own data center, but they're using cloud technologies. They're using microservices, their containers, Kubernetes as an orchestration layer, et cetera. So these kinds of things are a stepwise approach. You don't try to do them all overnight. So what they ended up with then is to go from, because they started with mainframe systems, right? And then they started to use kind of the bimodal approach to continue to support services with their mainframes, but then build a cloud environment that they can then utilize for the mobile applications and the new kinds of services that they wanted. And then over time, they transitioned their mainframe as well. So they built an open platform. It was built around OpenStack. They ultimately used the Kubernetes and the open containers, so to provide that kind of an environment. The other thing that is happening, though, when we talk about cloud, is that virtually all banks are going to end up in some kind of a hybrid multi-cloud environment. So most banks will keep some things in their data center. They'll want to use cloud types of technologies so that it's easy for them to move workloads between their private cloud and various kinds of public clouds. And they're probably going to use multiple public clouds so that you don't get locked into a particular cloud vendor. You can take advantage of specific services that they have. You can start using software as a service things. One of our major customers in Latin America is using our cloud-based call center. They're using Microsoft Dynamics out of the Azure cloud, and we simply interconnect those. So this kind of thing is going to be much more common going forward, particularly as we move more towards the Internet of Things concepts, which will utilize edge clouds. So you'll have a small cloud-like things, maybe it's only a box, right? In China, we've actually deployed a lot of edge clouds that are nothing more than computing environments in small boxes that run the containers just like the main data center runs, so that you can move workloads around from one to the other. One of the newest concepts that has quite frankly came out of China is called mini apps. One of the challenges of having a mobile application where you're adding all of these capabilities is you can plug lots of things in, but many times it needs administrative effort on the part of the bank to enable that HTML5 extension or whatever to support this external service. So what now is common is the concept of a mini app where the merchant or the supplier can create an entire application that's completely separate from the mobile app. But when you go look inside of the mobile app, you can find that application, download it, run it seamlessly as part of the mobile application. So this kind of thing is really transforming the environment. So Huawei, as part of our mobile wallet and our fintech ecosystem, has built in this mini app capability. We have frameworks that allow customers to create new kinds of services, either no code or low code, so they can just drag and drop icons and pictures to create this mini app, and they can change it anytime they want without the bank or the provider of the wallet system having to do anything. So it really moves it beyond to the next step, because now you can explode the number of applications your users have access to. Obviously, you can increase the monthly active users, right? The whole name of the game is increase the stickiness so that you can capture more and more information that allows you to create new kinds of services and new kinds of experiences for your users. Have a couple of slides on, this is an interesting example where the shopping center actually supports this mini app for all of the shops that are within the shopping center, because most small shops, they don't really have any technical capabilities. They can't stand up an e-commerce website and that sort of thing. But if the shopping center offers this as a service, then the stores can create their own sites within the shopping center simply using drag and drop. So this is an example of how the merchant would do it. They do it entirely through their mobile application, right? They don't need a PC. They don't need anything except their mobile application. They can put in the items that they have for sale, take a picture with the phone, include that, put in the stock, tie it into delivery services. So lots of capabilities that don't require a bunch of IT capabilities on the part of the end customer. Now, one of the things that's a key to this success is the ecosystem. So this is an example from Myanmar, from KBC Bank that put in a wallet system. It was very, very successful. They went from about 1 million retail customers for their bank to over 9 million users of the mobile wallet application, because it became, they put in a huge set of agents, signed up a huge set of agents who signed up lots and lots of merchants. So as people go into the store, they see, oh, I can pay using KBZ Pay, just take a picture of this QR code type of thing. So it's really a case of being able to build an ecosystem, and then they expanded using the super app and the mini app for e-commerce and other kinds of solutions. Also a lot of online gaming. So that's become a major revenue source now for the bank. Another example, M-Pesa in Kenya is a customer of ours. They started just from peer-to-peer and have expanded into financial services, where they've actually created a platform where banks can come and offer loans, insurance companies can offer services, and that sort of thing. So, and KVZ I already mentioned. So with that, I'll wrap it up, and thank you very much for your time.